Hi guys, Eddy Croft here again, and I just wanted to answer another quick question for you, which is how to sell contracts to big business rather than opportunity seekers. Well, here's something that's really cool about this type of business. You don't generally need a lot of customers. So there are businesses that need lots and lots of customers and lots of leads, sizable mailing lists and so on and so forth. But the kind of business we're talking about here, like a small general contracting business, does not need tons and tons of customers, which means that you can get them by hand. And they're not opportunity seekers, they're hardcore entrepreneurs, and what they're looking for more than anything are people that they can trust, which means you have to show up and you have to be trustworthy. You also have to be able to cut through the noise, and you also have to be able to reach them in a way that they are used to being reached, which typically is not via online marketing. These guys are not sitting around looking at their email waiting for contractors to show up. Contracting business is done on a very face-to-face basis. So I would approach this from one of two stanzas, which is by direct mail, and the other which is using the telephone. Typically it's hard to get through to people who are busy on the phone, and that's because most people generally aren't answering their phones anymore. But if we know that we're expecting a call, it's a lot easier to get through. So I fall back on this one, which is something that I've used over and over again, which works incredibly well. The thing I'm talking about here is lumpy mail, otherwise called conventional mail. And this is basically something that doesn't lie flat in an envelope. And I just want you to think about this just for a second. Think about getting a box. In fact, think about getting a box, and when you get that box in the mail, do you ever actually set that box aside and say, I'll open that later? Or maybe I'll just throw it in the trash because I really don't care what's in it. Well, I'm going to venture out here a little bit and guess the answer is never. And when you get a box, you are absolutely compelled to open it. And now let's think of an envelope. Maybe it's a 9 by 12 manila envelope, and there's something in it that's sticking out. And you can tell it's really not a ballpoint pen, because when it is a ballpoint pen, you really don't care, and you probably throw that out anyway. But if it's something else, or maybe it's something heavy, or it comes in a small gift box, or I could go on and on and on. The point is that these things are just absolutely begging to be opened. You have no choice but to open them. And I'll give you one more example. If you receive a FedEx, or Express Post bag, do you set that one aside and say, well, I'll open that when I have the time? Most people, when they get a FedEx, they tear it open on the spot. Unless it's someone who gets a heap of FedExes, like bank managers, so maybe they don't. But everybody else tears open a FedEx as soon as they get it. So there's the clue for you, which is you can contact people, by using a piece of lumpy mail. And if you're a general contractor or a small company, and if you land a decent sized deal, there's what, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 profit in it. So, you can spend, a little bit of cash using lumpy mail to get in front of your prospects. So I would send using lumpy mail. I would send it with an introductory piece, something curious, something that makes them want to talk to you after they've opened it, and then tell them you're going to call. And tell them when you're going to call, and call at a time when you know that they can be reached, at maybe 7 a.m. And that's because they're in the office at that time, and they're generally gone by 9 a.m. So I would use lumpy mail, FedEx, tell them what time I'm going to call, and then once I speak to them, I would push for a meeting at that point. And yes, this is very old school, and but in an era of time when people are trying to do things the easy and fast way, this is the way you are truly going to connect with people and get in front of them. I'm Eddy Croft. I'll see you soon.